All right, let's get started. So today I'm over in Japan, and I thought it'd be good to do something a bit different. It's interesting. We've been talking about energy drinks, and not to suggest that we're energy drinks are the answer. You know, we still want to make sure that people have got a good quality sleep, and that good health and nutrition and habits are the priority. But there are times when you may want to have a coffee, and if you can't have a coffee, or if you're not a coffee drinker, you may want something else. So last time we talked a lot about V and other energy drinks. We've talked about hydration, and while I'm here in Japan, I thought, well, let's check out what the local market has with regards to these kind of drinks as well. So Ashin, I've got a little compilation of drinks that I've collected. I'm not going to have them all at once. I'm not even going to have them every day. I'm kind of a little bit worried about the amount of caffeine that they've got. Whenever I am in Japan, I probably have a coffee maybe once a week. It's like, right. You know, back in Melbourne, we have it every day. Here, I've got so much other options. I might have some Aquarius, some Pocari Sweat. There's so many beautiful teas as well to have. So it's kind of like, why would you have a coffee, or why would you pick up a monster drink to have? So I don't normally have these, but I thought, okay, for the sake of science and education, let's have a look at them. I'll introduce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energy drinks that I've got, and give you a little bit of a breakdown of the nutritional information. But also at the end, I'd like to really show you this GABA for sleep chocolate, which was an interesting one as well. So I'd like to get your thoughts on these things. I'll start with the classic. This is from 1962. So it's got 1,000 milligrams of taurine, 20 milligrams of nicotinic acid extract, vitamin B3. It's got a few other more vitamin Bs, and 50 milligram of caffeine. So that's quite light in comparison to the other ones I'll be showing you shortly. This drink was, it actually tastes like a medicine I used to have as a kid, but
it's an interesting one. I haven't seen an energy drink before that uses ribose, which is a pentose sugar that helps in the energy production part inside the body. So I personally haven't seen one before going through that part. So I found it quite fascinating. And the other compounds wise, there's a lot of, I think, vitamin Bs, which helps in the energy production metabolism part, which I think is very common now in every, in like the last few chats we had, we discussed a few drinks with vitamin B as well. And with the 50 milligram caffeine, it's just like a normal espresso or double espresso. So it's a decent amount of caffeine. It's not incredibly high. So you may not experience a caffeine crash. So I personally actually prefer this one over some of the drinks we have discussed so far in this podcast.
The next one I've got is this Mega Shaki. This one, it looks pretty exciting, as you can see. I found YouTube videos on this brand that have been around for 10 years. Wow. I tried it yesterday. This has got arginine 500 milligrams. And 100 milligrams of caffeine in a very small package. And to be honest, it was very disgusting. It was slightly carbonated, but it was kind of syrupy, and you have a little bit in your mouth, and then it takes a little bit of time. You can't. For me, I just couldn't swallow it. It was just right. Sit there in your mouth, and you're like, oh. So it's kind of like if you can imagine a slightly carbonated Benadryl. It's like, right. Well, I don't mind Benadryl, but this was quite powerful, quite potent. It's supposed to have a lemon flavor.
100 milligrams of caffeine is a really strong caffeine hit. So if you're not familiar with bigger, more concentrated caffeine shots, that you might feel it a bit more. And arginine, it's an interesting one. So arginine, it's an amino acid. how it works, it relaxes the blood vessels and then it widens that vessel and then it increases the blood flow. So there have been some studies looking into reducing blood pressure and even fixing erectile dysfunction by increasing blood flow. And I think that's how it actually helps in the energy or reducing the fatigue part. It increases the blood flow. There's more oxygen going into the muscles and the cells, and then that will reduce the fatigue. Higher doses, there have been reports of arginine causing GI distress or gastrointestinal effects like diarrhea, nausea, rumbling. Yeah. So I think it can go up to like 20 grams or something, but saying that arginine already is in some of the food we eat. So it's very hard if you don't really track how much goes into your body. And if you are already sensitive to that, and having a concentrated form of arginine can probably feel a bit funny in the stomach. But my personal opinion, I probably don't want to have 100 milligrams of caffeine in one go. So I would probably pass this one. Yeah.
Hey, I'll bring some of this back to Melbourne for you, okay? So you do have to try it. The next two, and as you can imagine, like Japan's got that kind of society where it's heavy on the work. So you can imagine that the messaging is not workforce, get some healthy sleep, but more so how do you squeeze more out of what you've got? How do we help you not sleep?
That's true.
Although you should really be listening to your body. If it wants to sleep, there's probably a reason why. But given that work hard culture, I think that's part of what's sort of grown this sort of beverage segment, so to speak. These things you can buy in the convenience stores. They're always in the convenience stores. I bought some of these from the pharmacist. And the fact that they're not like over the counter or anything, but just a little bit more specialist drinks. So the next two I've got are focused on staying up. I guess it's kind of like no-dose, like the idea that if you've got an assignment late at night, if you've got work to do late at night, your body's telling you to sleep and you'll say, no, I've got to keep working, then you take something like this. So this is Min Dada. Once again, this has also been around for a long, long time, maybe 10 years. I found some videos on YouTube. This one also has that arginine 500 milligrams coupled with 120 milligrams of caffeine. So that was a tad more than the last Mega Shaki. I haven't had this one yet. It's pretty potent for such a small little bottle. But similarly, there's this other one which has got a very cool looking evil skull, because it's kind of indicating to you that you might die. No, I don't know, but it's kind of possibly to a younger market. Nemukure Sukkiri. So this has got arginine 200 milligrams, so less than the other one. 200 milligrams. This is the winner of all caffeine drinks, 200 milligrams.
Look, public service announcement, don't drink it.
Don't drink it.
That's way too high. Or just break it apart or drink with some food, some carbs, some rice. So it will be easy on your stomach too.
Yeah, it's amazing. 50 mils, that is. More of a Western take from America. This is recently released here. I'm sure it's in America, but I've never seen it in Australia. This Monster 3 M3 extra strength. So this one it's got a wonderful collection of things. So you've got 450 milligrams of arginine. You've got 444 milligrams of ribose, 300 milligrams of ginseng, carnitine, 109 milligrams, and then 140 milligrams of caffeine.
It's interesting. Yeah, it combines a lot of the compounds that are known, not necessarily with a lot of research, but in the market, some drinks, they combine all these things. And I think ginseng is a classic. There are different types of ginseng and been known for a while as well. A lot of people take them, I think, for antioxidant properties or other cognitive benefits. I think L-carnitine is an interesting one that they have. It's known to increase the mitochondrial energy production. So in every cell, it would boost up the energy. So I think that they have combined multiple compounds that known to increase the energy, reduce the fatigue, and then probably couple it with a bit of caffeine, and then there you go. Yeah.
In Australia, we had quite a few which were mentioning the theanine.
Yeah, that's right.
I haven't found that mentioned on any of the Japanese products.
I think one of the reasons those companies use theanine is it's a sales tactic as well. So with theanine, let's say you are the caffeine amounts too high or you can't tolerate, theanine will get rid of the shakes and the jitteriness.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't feel bad, and so you can keep drinking more with having theanine already in the drink. I think that's one of the probably differentiations. And I was just thinking while talking, maybe whether there's a cultural aspect, like Japan known for its tea. So people been drinking tea a lot. So that means they keep drinking caffeine. So the bodies are already accustomed to caffeinated beverages as opposed to Western cultures. There's coffee and tea, but that it's not like everyone do it quite regularly. So I wonder whether there's a cultural aspect in it as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I've seen this before, this GABA for sleep chocolate. And I've had it before last time I was here. And I thought I'll get it again to show you. So GABA being the gamma aminobutyric acid. So do you want to know more about this than me? Do you want to give us a bit of a rundown? What is GABA?
So GABA itself it's a neurotransmitter, and it goes to the body and kind of work on a region that regulates sleep. In simplest terms, we haven't really understood how that region in the body, the brain actually functions, but GABA itself is used as a prescription medication as well. In the field, neurologists use it, sleep specialists use it. There have been, and I'd say it's almost like somewhat of a wonder drug, and it seems to be doing a lot. Published research it's all over the place in a way, but from my experience, I've seen it given to a lot of people who's got sleep disturbances. It can definitely help with sleep. I think I wouldn't probably take really high doses because some people have reported there can be a bit of a addictive or reliance on it, and it's sometimes hard to stop using it. There can be quite so because of that, I would probably take in lower doses. I wouldn't probably go beyond a gram or something if possible. I don't know how much GABA in that thing, but I think you can go up to about 5,000 milligrams, which is about 5 grams. There have been studies with higher doses like that. Yeah.
Okay, so this is 11.75 grams across 3 tablets. So 3 tablets of chocolate.
Yeah, so that's
Okay,
so it's almost like 3 to 4, which is within kind of like the recommended dosage area. Only thing with the GABA, there's a bit of a division. I think some people say when you take it orally, it doesn't get through the blood-brain barrier. But saying that there have been pill format that been given to patients, so there's a bit of a division in that. It could be how it is formulated, but there's definitely tablet prescription medication form that give to the patients.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah. It did. In the research I was doing, it did look like there's still a lot of research going on.
I think GABA usually helps. You will feel a bit more refreshed in the morning. So the cases I have seen, but it's interesting that it's in chocolate form.
So this is the opposite end of the spectrum compared to everything else I just showed you in terms of they're all about keeping you awake when you need to be awake. And that's probably, we've talked about coffee as the pick-me-up when you've got your trough. I guess you can imagine those as a similar thing. It's good to have the chocolate if you want to help getting to sleep. Although this is probably not the most healthiest lifestyle choices in terms of this is like a quick fix and it's not going to help you in the long term with regards. If you have to rely on it's kind of chemical solutions there to sort of help you achieve your goal, it's probably going to impact you in a different way.
Yep, that's true.
Cool. All right. Thanks for that. That was a good sort of, you helped me understand a little bit more of the ingredients and the nutrients within these, and that's really interesting. And this is just a tip of the iceberg. There's so many more here. There's so many more different sleep products as well. But that's all for now, and it'd be great. We still want to keep the subscribe account going, so please like and subscribe. For those on the podcast, because we're getting quite a few downloads on the podcast, so thanks a lot everyone for that. Keep going and keep following us, and you'll hear from me and Ashen probably in a couple of days. No, I won't say a couple of days. Let's say soon enough, and I'll come back with a few more drinks we can talk about before we resume our normal topics around how to maximize your energy levels. This is one way. It's probably not the healthiest, but it is worthwhile to be informed about what's actually in these drinks. So we'll see you next time.